What is going on, everybody? The Baltimore Ravens finally get their season underway. Football is upon us. It is 10:50 here, Friday night. The Ravens fall to the Eagles at the buzzer with a little bit of a weird, sloppy preseason finish in a classic sense. My name is Spencer Schultz, doing a solo live session here. Figured I'd hop on. I told you guys if you did a certain amount of likes, I would do one. I didn't think there would be that many, but here we are. So, with it upon us, we got a couple folks here in the chat saying what's up. Would love to have you like and subscribe. Please check out the channel. Like and subscribe, easiest way to support our content here. So, thought there was a lot of fun takeaways on the defensive side of the football. Ultimately, not a very productive day for the Ravens offense. They're able to string together one touchdown drive late in the game there. They finally get something going in the fourth quarter with Devin Leary, the rookie out of Kentucky. Rookie quarterback throwing the ball around a little bit, spraying the ball. They get Collier, the running back, involved. Ali, the running back, involved. We see Dayton Wade have a nice little drive there. And after a failed run from the Philadelphia 4, a failed run from the Philadelphia 3 that got stuffed, they get stuffed at the 1. Again, back-to-back rushes for Ali, the rookie running back out of Marshall, before Devin Leary finally able to punch through with the quarterback sneak. And then the Eagles able to go drive down. Tanner McKee, the Stanford quarterback, Taron Davis-Price getting involved a ton there as well, able to string together a couple nice little runs, a couple quick 6, 8, 9, 7 4-yard completions. And then the Ravens get a little lucky. The wind starts to swirl. Jake Elliott misses a 50-yard field goal before the Ravens hop back in. Emory Jones out of Cincinnati comes in, looking to maybe use that big arm of his. Immediately gets strip sacked on the first play. No awareness at all whatsoever there from a rookie in his first preseason game action here that ends up getting stripped. So then the Eagles get a second chance. They get redemption and go kick a field goal. Jones signed on May 6th, 2024. Jake Elliott able to redeem himself, but Jones getting stripped there. Pretty brutal, but hey, it brought the game to an end, so I'm sure both teams were pretty happy there. We got Ali needs to do some squats. Yeah, that was definitely something that stood out in the second half. Rasheen Ali looks a little explosive. He had a nice kick return. I think the new kick return is awesome. Really excited for it. I think it's a great way to incentivize special teams. And there was a TikTok of a British guy that was like, all right, let me watch American football, and I'm just going to like take my overarching notes. And he was like, why the hell do they do these kickoffs? It's not even a play. They don't even do anything. It's just a touchback every time. Let's bring some excitement back. The NFL decided to. They figured out a way to make it lower impact for everyone involved. So I thought that was really fun and interesting. It looks like you need guys. I think it's going to change the paradigm of who you want returning the football from maybe the wiry acceleration, jitterbug types into a little bit more someone that can run in a straight line with some contact balance. We think of Cordarrelle Patterson. Of course, he's an outstanding returner in any format, but somebody that's got some thicker, lower halves to them and can run through some arm tackles, can survive some contact, and will run a little bit more fearlessly when it's kind of stagnant instead. Guys are going to be able to stay neutral, come off, and get at you a little bit. So you need to be able to run through arm tackles. I think we're going to see a lot more actual running backs start to return the ball. I'm really excited for that because I think teams are going to have a lot more up their sleeves than what we will see in the preseason. Week 1 even, I think we're going to see some interesting lateral, throwback, blocking formation at least, like trying to run some kind of pull-type power stuff to a degree on special teams. So I think creativity will be involved. Pertaining to the Ravens, I don't know why Justin Tucker needs to be the one to do that in lieu of Jordan Stout, who had a nice punt, nice little coffin corner down to like the 17-yard line, I think in the first half. The Ravens drafted Stout. Part of the reason they drafted him, they talked about it in the post-draft presser, was because he can kick off and take that duty away from Tucker. Don't want to see Tucker putting in all of those miles when he doesn't need to. Obviously, they need him to score points from them a little bit more than they need him to try and finesse the ball between the goal line and the 20. So the new kickoff, really interesting. You guys will get to see it if you watch any football, but the gist of it is a touchback into the end zone. The offense then starts at the 30. So that decentivizes kicking teams from wanting to kick into the end zone. You need to land the ball in the landing zone, which is the goal line to the 20. And if the ball does not land in there, lands short of it, the opposing team gets the ball on the 40. If it lands in the landing zone, the receiving team can fair catch. But wherever they fair catch, that's where you get the ball. So it's not going to take you back out. So I thought that was interesting. Curious to see how John Harbaugh plays around with it. Offensive line here, we got Matt in the comments. Awesome. Love to have anybody up in here. We don't want to always go just on Twitter, trying to incentivize the YouTube a little bit more. So please like and subscribe. But Matt says the O-line looks strong for the most part. I didn't think Falele looked great. I think he was the one that kind of stuck out like a sore thumb a little. Too tall, too high-waisted to be playing guard. There was an early, I want to say it was maybe a trap where he tried to go pull, and he just got out over his skis. I don't think Falele is going to be a fit in this Monken offense. Talked about that a good bit last year. Kind of a emergency, break glass for him to play tackle somewhat last year. I think they're trying to showcase him a little bit, hope to maybe trade him for a 7th-round pick or a conditional 7th-round pick, something like that. Wouldn't be shocked to see him end up on the Chargers with Greg Roman. Other than that, Roger Rosengarten, I thought, looked pretty nice, looked fluid, was able to drop his hips, anchor in pass rushing situations a little bit. Andrew Voorhees, really strong, digging guys out of the B gap there. Some inside zone stuff, it looked like. Just looked pretty smooth there, pretty fluid. I didn't really get a good look at Cleveland playing center. We'll get another look at that. We'll look at the tape a little bit more. Offensively, not really a ton. I did really like Owen Wright, especially in comparison to Ali, who we saw for like the most of the second, third, and fourth quarter. Wright played under his pads, played behind his pads. He had good pace, rhythm, set up his blocks well. He was patient, hit the hole hard, looked to play completely under control. So that's definitely a competition going on. I think Jamison Hensley, a lot of the reporters like what they've seen out of camp so far with him, and Wright definitely looked the part. Looks like he has some juice in that, in those haunches back there. He's able to go push a pile where Ali was not able to. So, I think Wright looked really strong. Josh Johnson sprayed the ball around a little bit. Tylan Wallace made a really nice catch on the sideline. At one point, not really a ton of tight end involvement, not really anything that stands out. Again, Dayton Wade late in the game takes a screen and takes a little flat pass on 4th, I think, and 2, catches the ball short of the marker, hits the spin back inside, hits a little shimmy shake on another defender and almost gets by him, then gets the ball down to the 4-yard line on a screen on the ensuing play. So he had a nice little game, but offensively, not much to write home about. I think the Ravens had 160-odd yards offensively. Josh Johnson, whatever. Preseason got him through the game. I'm not going to go rip on the guy. Whatever. He's playing with a bunch of rookies and guys that haven't played in games and things like that. So, not a ton to write home about offensively. Defensively, I think that we saw the Clemson duo, the Tigers. We saw Trenton Simpson and Nate Wiggins really stand out consistently. Unfortunately, after Nate Wiggins had such a strong day, ends up going low on a tackle early in the second half. Ends up going into the tent. I mean, his day could have been about done anyway. So didn't look like he had like a limp arm. So I don't think it would be dislocated. I'm, of course, no doctor, but didn't look like it was like, oh, I can't let Rays move, dangle my arm. It didn't feel like it was dead. So hopefully just a, stinger, a bruise, a strain, something. I don't even know how to be a strain. I don't think he got caught on anything. So some bruise. Hopefully it's not like a torn labrum or anything like that. But I'm going to say 4 pass breakups. They're going to credit him with 3. One of them, he didn't get his hand on the ball, but essentially bodied the receiver out of bounds. Looked so good at the catch point. Looked so confident. Felt like an all NBA defensive first team like guard. Like he is just denying you the ball. He is confident in his timing, the rhythm, when to attack, when to be able to jump in there. Early on the first drive, targeted 3 times, didn't allow a completion. I think he probably will get credited with allowing 2 completions, one of which being a touchdown. The Eagles ran a fast to the flat, kind of like waggle, which they scored their only touchdown on. And only touchdown, I think. Yeah, only touchdown to Will Shipley. It looked like Wiggins was kind of just sitting. They were playing probably red 2, where he's kind of got the flat-ish exchange area. Looked like it was a 2-man kind of sit in a flat so that there would be a traffic jam, and he just watched too long and didn't get quick enough. So I think that's a great learning experience. I don't think that is something that, when you look at what he did well and what he didn't do well, the things he did well are technical. The things he did well are athletic, in coverage, in what he's going to be asked to do primarily. The thing he didn't do well can be fixed by reps. more quick goal-to-go situations. In college, definitely not as clean down in that red area, that goal-to-go area, running quick play action like that. It's going to be a lot more efficient in the NFL. The ball is going to come out quicker. Running backs are going to catch the ball more, a little bit more involvement in that capacity. So need to be a little quicker to the trigger there, a little quicker to the punch. Trenton Simpson in this one I thought was fantastic. I would say he was the player of the game for the Ravens for sure. He was processing against the run, IDing his keys consistently. I think he had 7 tackles in the first quarter, ended up with, I don't know, a dozen. Let me go take a look at the box score here. What do we got? Yeah, the Ravens' longest offensive play was 19 yards. The Eagles' longest play was 11 yards. This was a boring offensive performance from both teams. So not exactly a high-flying, high-scoring preseason game. Not often the case. Trenton Simpson finishes with 11 tackles in this one, 7 in the first quarter, 5 solo, 2 assists in the first quarter, then ended up getting 6 total assists to finish for 11 combined tackles. We also saw Pepe Williams come through on a slot blitz, really nice. Zach Orr starting to tinker around there, and definitely going to be the case for what we're going to continue to see on Harbaugh's defense and Zach Orr, the next iteration of that. The broadcast was talking about that a little bit. Since Harbaugh took over in 2008, the Ravens have the number 1 scoring defense in football. I think it was 18.6 points per game, if I'm not mistaken. So, comments from Harbaugh. They're going to have to do some testing, see what happens. Not the end of the world. Wiggins looked good, right? He gets more, I don't know. If I gun to my head right now, I would say he is out for 2-3 weeks and misses some preseason games and then is fine. So is what it is. Shoulder got banged up, but looked really, really strong, especially at the catch point, downfield, coming back to the ball. It was vision and man coverage. So you like to see that as well. Looked smooth in both. Going up against Big Johnny Wilson, he knew he wasn't going to run away from him ultimately. So I thought that was awesome. I thought Bo Brady was pretty nice at the end of the game, made a couple plays too, and was able to come downhill a couple times, force an incompletion. Looked a little smaller in this game on the broadcast at least than he looked in a Maryland uniform. So I was a little like, this guy, let's see what he can do. Triggered really well. I was impressed with him. Wasn't terribly impressed with the Ravens front, especially that first group. Tavius Robinson and Malik Harrison kind of got caught early on a screen, which is a nice, little smack to the face, wake up, hey, preseason, hey, real football, hey, if the offensive line's all releasing, it's a fucking screen. So get after that. I think on the Eagles opening drive wasn't a massive gain there, but I like that a lot. Didn't like that a lot, pardon me. That front, Brent Urban playing too much. I don't know. And again, it's preseason. So like guys make like 2 plays, like Trent Simpson makes like 3 plays. I'm like, all right, get him out of there. Which is always the fun part about preseason. So other than that, Sanusi Kane comes down with an injury. He looked super physical on special teams. I think made like 2 tackles on special teams and then laid a big hit. Didn't wrap up, didn't kind of get his head to the side at all whatsoever. Kind of just like hood through someone. Big collision. Ends up getting himself a neck stinger. So a couple Ravens rookie DBs with some injuries, with some nicks, some bruises, some bumps, all that good stuff. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. Hopefully, and again, if Wiggins' shoulder is a little bit more severe, at least it wasn't a foot or an ACL or something like that. We'll knock on wood for him. But your corner, you want their lower half and their core included, those to be a little bit better. We watched Marcus Williams, the one-armed man last year, able to make do with a completely bum shoulder. So again, hopefully not the case, but I'd rather the young corner doesn't have a foot injury or something like that. We had Harbaugh come out and say David Ajabo still has not been cleared to play in games. His ACL surgery was like 8.5 months ago. So we did not see David Ajabo in this one. We didn't see a lot of Tez Walker in this one either. I don't think he took 1 snap in the first half. So he had missed some time. Curious to see what that ends up parlaying into a little bit later. Maybe we do get a little excited on him. We wouldn't be surprised again, but a lot of preseason left, a lot of football left. It's left as early. His career really hasn't even started yet. None of these rookies have. So, that was kind of the overall feeling in this game. The Emory Jones fumble at the end was hilariously bad. Jake Elliott missing on the doink was pretty funny. Ali, again, not really impressed with what I saw out of him. Offensively, man, I'm trying to rack my brain. What else we saw? I mean, nothing. I mentioned the Tylan Wallace toe tap. Just operationally clean. How about that? Not a ton of penalties, not a ton of delay of game, not a ton of garbage. So that's a very good takeaway. The Ravens did opt to kick a field goal instead of go for it on 4th down early, which, hey, guarantees that you're going to get another kickoff attempt, which is probably more important. Special teams, very important. Those are the guys, the fringe guys need to be your best special teams players. The guys that the UDFA that ends up making the team and everyone's really excited about from preseason comes from special teams, first and foremost. So have to be doing that well. And again, Kane, Bo Brady looked like they were making some plays on that back end there. Another one to mention, the outside linebacker out of Iowa. Ryan, name is escaping me. Joe Ryan, I believe. The heck is his name? I think it's Joe Ryan. I don't know. Name is escaping me, but was a nice little force there, able to have a nice rush that ended up Joe Evans. Pardon me, Evans. There we go. Completely blanking. Iowa had like 8.5 sacks last year. Was a little bit of surprising. Was an older prospect and ended up getting drafted. There we go. Andre's got me. Joe Evans. Joe Ryan sounds like a Tom Clancy character. But anyway, dropped into coverage on simulated pressure. Looked really fluid doing that. Kind of faded in. I was watching him a little bit. He caught my attention on an early rush, the one that got a holding. Looked like he had some good get off. Kind of faded in. Stunts, it didn't look like he had a lot of pop in his hands or really quite understand running like the TE stunts, the end looping around the crashing defensive tackle, taking out the offensive tackle so that the linebacker can loop in, those kinds of things. Didn't look very comfortable there yet. Again, not something I know he was not asked to do. Iowa does not do that a ton. So didn't look comfortable there. Didn't look quite explosive there, but that's a work in progress. So we'll see. Offensive line wise, you're okay. That's really the couple places you're looking. Outside linebacker, safety. Eddie Jackson came downhill and made a play in this one. He's not in any danger of missing out, but I think that not a huge dramatic area for really any player or room in this one. Again, I liked Owen Wright out of the running back room. Rosengarten looked good. He's a high draft pick. He's not going anywhere. Falele definitely would say stock down just off the broadcast. I'll go back and watch the game tape later after this. But yeah, man, Ravens preseason. Game 1 feels good to be back. Exciting to have football back in Baltimore. The Ravens' only preseason game at home. So the next time we see the Ravens in Baltimore, let's see, is not going to be until September 15th. So we'll see the Ravens September 15th, 1 p.m., take on the Raiders in week 2. So a month and a week, pretty much, from today. So a lot of fun. Derrick Henry on the sidelines, Zay Flowers, all of those guys. Cole Minder here, a great comment. Unfortunately, Falcons game is home. I was looking at the schedule. Pardon me. Yep, next week. I'm tired. It's Friday. Duvernay would be perfect. Yes, he does kind of have that contact balance and that straight line speed. So he'll probably go crush it on those for the Jags. Hopefully his foot's okay for them. Next week, home Falcons, Saturday, 12 o'clock, followed by the Packers on the road, August 24th. The Chiefs, of course, opening the NFL season September 5th. Then the Raiders at home. Ravens go to the Cowboys, home Sunday night against the Bills. Funky little schedule to open there. So with that in mind, not a ton more here. Appreciate people tuning in. Want to just do a quick little hop in here, talk to some folks. I'm just chilling, watching the game at home. So, hey, why not? But Nate Wiggins banged up. Sanusi Kane banged up. Hopefully those guys are able to be on the mend. Kane definitely looked like a stinger. I think they already said it was a stinger, so hopefully it doesn't linger. Most of them don't. Sometimes they're really bad, though. He did not look comfortable. Was able to walk off under his own power and all that good stuff. But boy, oh boy, he's going to be sore tomorrow. We know that. So with that, my friends, I appreciate you guys. Not going to drag this one out too much longer, but please subscribe, like, hop on the page. We'll be doing our usual jumbo set on Tuesday night. Then we're going to get back into the swing of things for the regular season. Post game, episodes, the jumbo set posted every Wednesday. We might be doing some fun stuff with that. Jake and I are going to be recording in the Clipper City studio downtown in Fells. So we'll be live together in person, have some other guests in and things like that too. We'll be doing our pre-games usually Thursday night or Friday morning so that you guys have that ahead of the game on the Saturday. Man, Ravens back-to-back Christmas games this year. Christmas football on Netflix. That's going to be a wild, wet, and fun one. Back-to-back Christmas games, something I'm looking forward to. So fired up for the season, fired up for football to get kicked off here, fired up for the new kickoff, and fired up to talk to you guys again. So I'm excited to see what the Ravens can do this season, kind of running it back with Derrick Henry, losing a couple faces and some rookies and some vets. So should be a somewhat similar football team in many regards, and excited to see what they can do. So thank you guys so much. I will leave you guys with that, and I'll talk to you next time. See ya.